I know it has been some time since I've given an update on Tufluent, and lots of things have changed, and lots of new developments have been made. And I'm very excited to go into detail into what I have been working on, what I've been cooking for some time now. And well, let's kind of just jump into it. I can't remember where I left off, at least with the last updates or last time I've made a video. But Fluent is going strong, at least as far as like the web application. So here on the left we have the web application, and here on the right we have the mobile app. And the mobile app has been in development for a few months now, and it's been very challenging, let me tell you. So I am not a mobile developer. I am not a React developer, and I just had to learn this new for me, technology, React Native, and start building the mobile app. And that has been very, very challenging. But it is coming along. So I believe I'll probably focus more on the mobile side for this update. I know I've shown a lot of the web application before, and lots of things have changed. So, like for instance, this calendar view. So we're in the dashboard here. So we have a collapsible menu. If it was larger, you'd kind of see it pop up like that, and it'd stay there. It'd be static on the left side. But when we get too small, it will kind of hide away. We can click it open or not, toggle it open. So this is the calendar view. This has been iterated. This is the fourth iteration, at least of the calendar, and this is where both the student and teacher would see all their events coming up. So their private lessons, their community lessons. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Communities, that wasn't a thing before, and now it's very much the main focus of Tufluent. So before Tufluent was very much focused on allowing teachers to do private lessons. And we had these private lessons and group lessons, and we even had a place where you could create video series, so sell video courses. And now we're really just focused on communities and private lessons, and that's it. And so many things have gone through. I've gone through this iterative process and kind of figured out what works and what doesn't, and this is where we're at now. So that's the focus, is these communities. And what a community is, well, it's just a place where you can have a group of many students who get access to a certain frequency of lessons every week. And there's paid tiers and there's free communities, and that is the goal of Tufluent. We want Tufluent to be a platform where you can learn a language for free from a professional. So from a professional teacher anywhere in the world. So if you're wanting to learn French, for instance, you could find a community on Tufluent, a French community, from a teacher, and learn for free. And the second goal is to empower teachers to make an income, to make a living by teaching. And so we want the free aspect, but we also want the paid aspect. And the paid aspect obviously will have a bit more value than, or even much more value than the free aspect. And so this is kind of how it works. I'll go a little bit into the communities. So let me go to my teacher tools and look at the community. So I have a free community that I run, and so far I have a few people who have joined, but it's been very recent since I started this community, and we're still very much getting people onto the platform. So let's go ahead and just kind of look at the communities. So you can create a community when you're a teacher, and there's 4 different models for the community. There's a freemium, and there's tier 1, 2, and 3. And the freemium is something we want all teachers to have, at least one free community. What it is you give or teach one lesson per week. Just one free lesson per week. That lesson is probably going to be about 50 or 60 minutes. and anyone can join it. There's no limit on how many people can join it, and everyone that joins it will have the event listed on their calendar. So every event you have for that community will be listed on their calendar, and they'll be able to join those meetings. And then we have different tiers. So there's the tier 1, which is $14.99 a month, and there's more value for this. So you get 2 lessons per week. You also get a 10% discount on the private lessons for that teacher. So if you wanted to do private lessons with the teacher, you could. And there's also a limit on how many people can be in that community. So once it hits 100, there can't be any more people in that community. It gives you it's a bit more exclusive, so it gives you more access to the teacher. So if you're in a community with 5,000 people, yeah, it'd be very hard to ask the teacher a question or get in contact with them. But communities of smaller sizes are easier, so you have more one-on-one time with the teacher. With 100 people, if there were 100 people in it, assuming, that would still be pretty hard to talk to the teacher, but it's possible. And yeah, so the teacher can kind of see, if they have 34 students in there and how much they'd be making. So they teach 8 lessons per month. And so they'd be making about $44.60 dollars per lesson. And that's the total that it would make. And they can even see, like, okay, this is after the Tufluent fees. So this is the calculation after we've taken the fees. Okay, so going to tier 2, they teach 4 lessons per week this time. So even more value, that's $40 a month. There's less people in it, so half, so 50, and that's the max, and then 20% discount. And they can kind of see, okay, so if I teach 26 people, I will make $45.49 per lesson. Or 727 per month. And then tier 3, this is the most expensive, highest tier, and they would be teaching 5 lessons every week, and they'd have a limit of 30 people and 30% discount on the private lessons. So that's kind of how communities work, and you can go in and give in the details of the community here, and then see a preview once you've filled it out. And that's communities for you in Tufluent. So yeah, lots have changed on the full stack application. We will have like our members, so the people that are in our communities. The feed is very much still a work in progress. So you'll have things like comments and where you can post or make announcements. That's still being built, and there's still lots of work to do on that end. So yeah, as far as Tufluent, like, you could still teach private lessons, and that's still a big part of it. And so you can add in lesson packages where you sell a group of lessons for a price. So maybe like, okay, 8 lessons for $96, or 4 lessons for $48. These are just examples. You can also, in your calendar, add in like one-off lessons. So okay, I'm going to add a private lesson, and yeah, you could just, these are kind of just open times where anyone can just do a one-off lesson if you wanted to. You also have the trial lessons. So when you are a teacher, you'll have book a free trial lesson. So for every teacher, you'll be able to book a free trial lesson with them. And that just gives a user the opportunity to test out the teacher, see how they are, without putting, it's a low risk for the student. I guess they're not putting any money on the line, and so they like the teacher, then they can possibly buy one of their lesson packages, or join one of their communities, or even just do a one-off private lesson with them. So yeah, that's really the big things on the full stack application, or the website, the web app. And I'll go ahead and go into detail with the mobile app. So let's get into some details with this. So the mobile app, it's still lots of stuff to do. There's so many features to implement, and there's things that don't work that should work better. So many things I've had to learn, and it's been very fun. So yeah, we still have the communities on here on the mobile app. It doesn't really work. The search page doesn't work yet. We have the teachers page where we can see like teachers listed, and we could search by name. So if I wanted to see Camilla, I could just search for Camilla, and then see the filters I have. I could also right now we can filter by price. This will have to add in a few more filters in here, and yeah, very much a work in progress. So. And yeah, we also can choose the language. So you can see I haven't added in all the translations or the flags for the languages yet. So if I wanted to see Spanish teachers, I could see those there. Yeah, and then if I wanted to actually see like the teacher's profile, let me go to one. I could load it up, and this is one of the teachers on Tufluent. So we can see, okay, what do they teach? Languages I speak, and then some details like the description about them, and then they have some lesson packages in here, so I can click on one and okay, maybe I want to buy this lesson package. So 5 lessons for $125, 30 minutes per lesson. That's not too bad, and I could purchase it. Still working out the purchase stuff there and transactions on mobile. It's a bit difficult with Apple and Google. And so I'm figuring out how I'm going to do that. And obviously down here we'll have the book our free trial. It doesn't work yet, but it will at some point. And yeah, there's also a calendar here. So if they had events on the calendar, like open events, like the community events, or like the open private lesson times, then people would be able to see them. So maybe I should show. Let me switch the language and go to my teaching profile, because I do teach on Tufluent. So let me go ahead and go to my profile, and so I can see, okay, there is an event on the 26th. That's the community lesson. So to attend this lesson, I have to join the community, and that community is free. And so that actually doesn't work when you click on it. It doesn't go anywhere yet. At some point it will. This message button doesn't work yet, but it will at some point. So lots of things to do on the teacher profile, the search page or the explore page for the teacher. We have the chats, which I've been working on quite a bit, and this has been very difficult, especially since I'm trying to load data locally from a local database, so a SQLite database on the application, and that way it speeds up load times for messages, and we're not querying the server all the time for messages or anything like that. So we can see the chats I have here and kind of go into them. So this is just me messaging myself just for testing purposes. So I'll go in here and kind of see. So this is, the messages, as you scroll up, it will load the next batch and all that fun stuff. And we can go in and kind of show you what it looks like to send a message. So I'll open up the keyboard and say, hey. There we go. Hey. Maybe I'll write another message. I'll just use the keyboard on the computer. That's a lot faster. Okay. How are you doing? And we have things like voice recording, so voice messages. And so this was added in very recently. So I can go ahead and talk and record my message, and then once I like it, I can pause it and either cancel it and do another one, or I can just send it, and then I'll be loading the audio, and then we got the recording here, so I can play it there and kind of pan through it, and I won't play the audio, but it will go through and it will work. And if we go back, we'll see, okay, we got a voice message here. So there are things like, okay, we got a new voice message, but these things are not switched. This is the newest message, so it should come to the top, right? So things like that, little bugs that are still being worked out, still in the process. Let me go ahead and just, I don't know if I have time for this, but I can show you. I'll log into one of my accounts one of my mini accounts here, and show you what it kind of looks like when we start talking to myself. I'll go ahead and my dashboard and go to my messages. And okay, so there are still things like bugs. Like I sent an audio message here, and just their audio messages are not supported yet on the site. And I think it's this one here. And yeah, we'll get the typing indications there, and we'll send the message, and bam, there it is. And I can say, oh, I am doing great, thanks. And man, I cannot spell. Thanks. And we'll get those updates, and so those messages come in real time, and we'll get the previews updated as well. And so like if we got a new message here and we weren't in the conversation, oh, it doesn't work, but it should. So what should have happened is we should have gotten a new message indication. So let me go ahead and just open up the app again and see if it works. Okay, there it is. So little bugs like that. Oh, and we're getting not a number. Oh, great. Can you hear me? And so yeah, things aren't quite working the way I want it to, but it's coming along. And what else we have? So in the mobile app we have like the profile view, so you can see your profile. Add in languages you're learning, languages you speak. Change your time zone, your residence, where you're from, biography, all that fun stuff. So that's all there. You can change your profile picture here. I won't do it now. And then what else? We got some settings. This doesn't work yet, so we can't change the site language. This is supposed to be a multilingual app, and so I'll be adding in more languages that the app supports at some point. You could change the mode, so that now it's in light mode or dark mode or system default. Let's go ahead and just put it in light mode to kind of see what the app looks like. Oh, look, we're getting some of the updates here, but still not working completely. What else? We got like the notifications here. So anytime new people join or anything, since I'm an admin, I'll get those notifications. And other things like messages, maybe. Actually, messages don't go to the notifications anymore. They just go to messages. And so I'll get notified when someone buys a course or something from me. And let's see. We also have the calendar. So the calendar here, I have a few extra things on here since I'm a teacher. So, both the student and teacher will see all their events on here, and they can kind of scroll through the calendar and see what they have on their docket. So it looks like on the 26th, I have a private lesson. I'm teaching someone. And yeah, so I can see who the teacher is. I can change the title, the event description, the meeting link, the event recording. Since there's a meeting link, I could just open the meeting, and when there's an event recording there, there'll be an option there to open it. I can do things like go with here and reschedule the event, cancel the event. So if I click on reschedule, I can click, okay, what date should it be? When should I reschedule? What time should I reschedule it? If I want to change the duration, and then whether I want to email the participants about the rescheduling, so they'll get an email. You can also cancel the event, which I won't do. And what else do we got here? I can add in a lesson. So this is kind of the flow for adding in a lesson. We have the private event, community event. So let's go ahead and just do the private event. And what language I'm teaching? Well, I'm teaching English. What's the price? Maybe it's $40. That's pretty steep for just a private lesson. Maybe it's $12. Or we could just make the event free. We'll leave it at 12. When's it happening? How long does it last? So what's the duration? And does this event repeat? And okay, so maybe we want to repeat it, and we want to repeat it weekly. and we want it to repeat every week or every 2 weeks. Let's just do every week on Tuesday or Wednesday, and so Tuesday and Wednesday, or maybe just Wednesday, and then end by this date. I'm not going to do that. And yeah, we can go next and add in a meeting link and then add it. And we can also, add in community events. So if we have a community, we can add in from our communities, and those are optional for the title description. When is it happening? Whether we want to repeat it. Maybe we want to repeat it monthly. And so we want to repeat it every month on the 16th or something like that, and end by some date. So maybe it's going to end by the 29th of November. I'll confirm that. And so, okay, we'll see the event will repeat 3 times. So it will happen on this time and 2 other times. And so that's kind of how it works, at least for adding events. So lots of new things and still so many things to do. That is your update on Tufluent.